Hey there. Who's watching? I can't make my my seat go any lower. This is as low as it goes. I should be like if I'm like this. If I'm like this, then you can see me clearly. You can see my face head on. But if I sit up like this, like normal, it's just the problem with using a little laptop. Is this working right? Let me check. Okay. Yeah, it says one viewer. So who's the viewer? Show yourself. Hello. 233. Oh. What are you doing? What? In Korean, this is where I'd be like, 안 자고 뭐 하세요? Like, what are you doing awake? Literally, you're not sleeping, and what are you doing? 안 자고 안 자고 뭐 하세요? I'm just still setting up. Not expecting too many people, but did want to do a short stream because I didn't do one yet this week. Try to do one each week, but it's kind of hard right now because I am finishing up a new series. And the series I'm doing takes all of my time. Oh, let me just click continue and see where we're at, so at least I can find out where we are. Let's see, we already went past the door. Let's see. Okay, I think I found where we are. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna play. If a couple more people come in, we'll let them come in. Let's stream until... Okay, we haven't gotten that far. I checked, and we've only made it through like the first 30 minutes of the game. Even though I've been doing this stream now for like 4 hours. So yeah, like we're going pretty slow because we're doing all the translations and everything. I'm just gonna start, go for like good 40 minutes or so, and then I gotta eat some dinner. Okay, and I also have to finish preparing for the I've got the class tomorrow, which I don't even remember what the form. Oh yeah, that's right, direction words. It's a really big live stream for tomorrow, so I'm still finishing that up. Okay, let's see here. I think I should. Okay, yeah, I can still read the chat over here. I got the translation over here in case we need it. Shouldn't need it though, but 이병창 선생님은 더 이상 흥미가 없다는 뜻. 보건 선생님의 말이 끝나기도 전에 돌아섰다. So the 이병찬 is that's the teacher. So the teacher 더 이상 anymore 흥미가 없다, uninterested. So 흥미가 없다는 뜻 is like as if, like. So like he was no longer interested, 더 이상 anymore. 보건 선생님, that's the health teacher, or I guess the school nurse is what the better translation. 보건 선생님의 말이 끝나기도 전에, before the nurse's words were even finished literally, or before they finished talking. 돌아섰다. 돌아서다 is like turn around, like turn what back. So he's just like he doesn't care anymore, and he's just turning back now. 박선아 선생님은 무사히 계단으로 내려가신 건가? Did Miss Park 무사히 safely 계단으로 내려가다, to go down the stairs. So 가신 건가? The ka is like just a soft question form. Did she? Versus did she? So, did she safely go down the stairs? Okay. 안도감도 잠시 이병찬 선생님이 갑자기 걸음을 멈췄다. So 안도감 is like a feeling of security, like you feel safe. So like hold off on feeling safe because Mr. Lee, 이병찬 선생님, 갑자기 suddenly 걸음을 멈추다, suddenly stopped walking, like stopped moving, basically stopped where he was. It looks like the English translation says suddenly stopped his steps. It doesn't really mean that, it just means stopped walking. 아직은 긴장을 늦출 수 없었다. So I couldn't get rid of my stress yet. So I couldn't relax just yet. Hey, Small. I'm an hour behind you, Julia. And then 2:37. All you guys are way too late. I mean, I can't really say too much. If none of you have kids, I did the same thing. I was awake till, oh gosh, 4 a.m. every single night. When I wrote my first book, even my second book, I was up until like 4 in the morning doing formatting for that. Like I just normally like staying awake late because I like how quiet it is. I can just think. I can really relax when it's late, when I know no one's gonna call me. I don't have to do anything, right? But then after having a kid, I haven't been able to stay up that late even once. I'm like laughing out of like, I wish I could, but yeah. So now I'll probably go to bed at like, since having a kid, I'll usually go to bed at like sometime around 10. Maybe if it's late, like 11 or like 12 on New Year's or something like that. But typically it's like 10, and then I wake up at like 6 or 7, depending on the day.
끝나면 곧장 교실로 돌아가거라.
This game is like 90% text though. I wish it was 90% dialogue and 10% text. That would be better. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't like regret it or anything like that. I'm not saying it like that. I do miss being able to stay up late. Sometimes we'd stay up late. Sometimes I did that, not commonly, but sometimes I would stay up until like 6 in the morning and then drive down to the donut store and get donuts like right when they open, get really fresh donuts, and then come back, eat the donuts, brush my teeth at 7 in the morning, go to bed, and then wake up like 3 in the afternoon or something. It was nice. I mean, I got so much work done that way. It wasn't like I was being lazy or anything. I was more productive with that sleep schedule than I am now even. And even now I'll work from like 9 o'clock until 7 or 8 p.m. every single day except for lunch break. I've done that. I do that every single day now, but I feel like I'm still more productive when I'm at that time because my brain's like totally on. Anyway, 끝나면 곧장 교실로 돌아가거라. So after you're finished, 끝나면 곧장 is like right away. So as soon as you finish, 교실로 돌아가다 is to go back to the class. So 가거라 is like an older command form. You don't hear that anymore, but it's just a strong command form, like talking down to someone. Like after you finish, go right back to the class.
늦지 않게.
And literally so that you're not late, but it's basically, and don't be late. Okay. Phew. 간 떨어질 뻔했네. Oh, I was like, I'm so used to just reading so much. She said it anyway. 간 떨어지다 is like you feel spooked, like really scared, or like you freeze out of fear, that sort of thing. So like, oh man, I was like almost like that, like too scared, kind of. Let's see what the translation, English translation says. I thought we were done for. Not really. She's not saying that it was over. She was saying I was just like I was almost done. Donuts at 6 a.m. Yeah, you got to get them fresh. That's the secret to a good donut is fresh. I mean, there are exceptions like those powdered donuts, you know, those little small ones they sell, and the chocolate ones sometimes. Those ones are not fresh, but they're good. But like actual donuts, you can get any donut place like right when they're fresh, and they're going to taste pretty good. If you can't do that, Krispy Kremes are pretty good for the whole day. And the next day as well. 당장 it's like dusty, I think, lately. 당장 다리가 풀려 주저앉고 싶은 심정이었지만. Okay, sorry, I was like totally messed up reading that. So 당장 is like right away as well. 다리가 풀리다 is like your legs give away. 주저앉다 is to crouch down. So 심정이었지만, so like I felt like I was just about to, my legs were just about to give away, and I was gonna like fall onto the ground. Now I'm craving donuts. What's all your favorite donuts? If you're not like, you know, gluten free. Actually, my best friend is gluten free. But besides that, if you're not gluten free, what is your favorite donut? I will say my favorite donut is, if I can pick any donut in the world, I'll pick Krispy Kreme's cream-filled chocolate donut. It's just fantastic. I can eat those non-stop if no one told me I couldn't, and if there weren't scales. If there were no scales in this world, I could just keep eating those. But I would gain a lot of weight. And I don't, you see me always look mostly the same. That's a conscious choice. Yeah, I'd probably pick that. If I picked something that's not just at Krispy Kreme, I probably would go with like something like a chocolate bar. Depends how I feel on that day. But chocolate bar is pretty standard. And if I'm in Korea, I'll pick a 꽈배기. 꽈배기 is what we would know as a twist, but it's actually a common thing in China and Korea as well. 꽈배기, they're really good. And Korea makes them really good and soft. So get a 꽈배기 in Korea. Just make sure it's fresh, because if it's like one of the ones that have been sitting around for a while, they just get kind of gross. But 홀로. 홀로 is by yourself. It's not commonly used except in like I was trying to, what's the word? Literary usage, like writing. But the famous movie Home Alone is 나 홀로 집에. 나 홀로 집에, right? Yeah, 나 홀로, it's not 나 홀로 집에서, it's 나 홀로 집에. Yeah, 나 홀로 집에 is so literally me alone at home. But you don't see 홀로 too much. Usually like 혼자서. But 홀로 is more like alone versus like 혼자서 is kind of like you did something alone, whereas 홀로 is just the idea of no one else being there. Anyway. 홀로 현주를 업고 계단을 내려가셨을 박선아 선생님을 돕기 위해. So in order to help, 돕기 위해, Teacher Park, who was going down, 계단을 내려가다, going down the stairs, and 업다, carrying something over your back. It's going to be a person. 현주. So to help Miss Park carry Hyunju down the stairs, in order to do that, I 힘을 내서, 힘을 내다 is like, let's do this. Motivated myself. I'm not sure what to play. 보건실을 향했다. So I headed toward the nurse room. I almost said nursery. I'm trying to think of a better translation. Like 힘내다 is like to cheer up, if you tell someone to cheer up. But it's not really, in this case, it's not really cheer up. It's more kind of like gathered myself. So anyway, in order to go help the teacher who was carrying Hyunju over her back down the stairs, I headed toward the nurse room. And the English translation for this literally just says, I headed down the stairs to help Miss Park, who had already gone down the stairs carrying Hyunju. It doesn't even mention that they're going to the nurse's office in the translation, but whatever. We're already seeing that the translation isn't perfect, but that's okay. I mean, it's hard to do translation.
박선아 선생님 자리가 저기던가?
Julie says, I can't sleep because I'm taking care of my grandmother with Alzheimer's, and she's not letting me sleep. Why is she not letting you sleep? I know, I I don't really know how that is yet. My grandma, actually, I think she does. She does have Alzheimer's, though she doesn't have too many. She's not showing strong symptoms most of the time, but she does as well. But I haven't had to deal with like taking care of her because of that yet. She's mostly still independent. Now I'm craving donuts. I'm sorry. Although I could only have donuts for dessert. Yes, donut. Pullo arirang. Gathering your strength. Yeah, that could work. Hey, Sherry. I suddenly see like a really nice translation. I'm like, I wonder who that is. Oh, it's Sherry. We have a local donut shop that sells amazing salted caramel donuts. That sounds good. Caramel cream inside, covered with milk chocolate with some added salt. There's a donut store in not too far from my house. They have creme brulee donuts. Okay, so the inside is the creme brulee filling. They stabilize it a little bit more. It's obviously not like fresh cream that's gonna rot, but they kind of stabilize it, but it's in donut cream style. And then the top has the sugar, the raw sugar that they torch. It's really good. Although I only want one of it because it's just like, it's too rich. Like you don't want to eat creme brulee like every single day or like 5 of them or anything, but one. 박선아 선생님 자리가 저기던가? The teacher park. Her seat was, as in 어디였지? Where was it? 저기던가? Was it there? But I don't get that donut usually. I mean, it's as good as it sounds. I usually just get, like I said, a chocolate bar or maybe a maple bar or something like that. I mean, I like the classic donuts. I think those already taste really good. I don't want all these weird textures in my mouth when I'm trying to eat a donut.
어이 이수혁이.
Hey, 수혁! That's my perfect translation.
체육 선생님, 안녕하세요.
PE teacher, essentially. Hello. The English translation says Mr. Kong. Hello. How do you know you Mr. Kong? Oh, I guess because he read the subtitle. That's how he knows that his name's Mr. Kong.
호호 폰 가게 차렸냐?
Oh, I guess because he's gathered all the phones. That's right, because he's the one that was gathering all the phones in the class. So this guy's teasing him like, hey, you set up a phone shop?
엥. 또 누가 수업 시간에 폰하다 걸렸구만.
That's just tisk tisk. I should say though, don't make this sound in Korean. It's really rude unless you 100% like you know the person, you're doing it jokingly, or you're talking down to someone, like in this case, the teacher to the student. Don't do this like to strangers, like regularly. Like it's not like they'll take it offensively if you're like complaining about something, you make that sound. Just so you know, it is a little bit stronger in Korea. So 또 누가 수업 시간에 폰 하다가 걸렸구만. So I guess someone 걸리다 is to get caught. So someone got caught while 폰 하다가, while using their phone. 수업 시간에, during class time. So I guess someone got caught again using their phone during class.
그렇죠 뭐.
Yeah, it is. I guess that "뭐" is just like an I guess sort of ending you can stick on.
잘 지냈냐?
How have you been? This sounds so awkward. It just comes up randomly. 잘 지냈냐? He's like, how you been there, buddy? So it's a little bit strong. In case you don't know, 잘 지내다 is not used so much in Korean. It does mean how like have you been well? But Koreans don't ask how have you been or have you been well unless it's someone you already know and it's been a while since you've seen them. So it's really like asking someone, how are you doing? 어떻게 지내? Or 잘 지내? Is more of the equivalent of in English asking someone, hey, long time no see. And then it assumes you know them really, you assume you normally know them and how they're doing, and you're just like, hey, how you been doing lately? That sort of feeling. So don't ask this like every single time you see someone, like, oh, how are you doing? Like when you see someone at the cash register, oh, 어떻게 지내세요? It's like super weird. Again, only for people you know.
민재 형.
But in this case, they know each other. because he's even calling him 민재 형, so they're friends.
이제 팔은 다 나았어? 활 다시 쏘는 거야?
So 팔 다 나았어, like is your arm. 팔 낫다 is to get better, so as in like heal. So if you're asking if someone's like body part is all healed, then you use that, and it conjugates as 나았어 or 나, like that. 이제 팔은 다 나았어. 활 is this bow. Yeah. I don't know why I'm asking. I'm asking you. Yeah. So you're shooting arrows again. You're shooting bows again. 쏘다 is to shoot. So
뭐 보다시피 아직.
보다시피, as you see. 아직, not yet. Yeah, and this is casual speech.
아, 그래서 상담 중인 거구나. 얼른 나와서 팍팍 10점에 꽂는 거 다시 보여줘야지.
아, 그래서 상담 중인 거구나. So that's why you are. 상담 is consultation, literally, but it's more a normal word for talking with someone. So like your teacher might have a 상담 with your parents, or you might have a 상담 with someone, and it's just kind of like talking about something. And it's often used for like professional or important or business things. Like you're not just going to say 상담 for like talking with your friend about like what they're doing that day or anything like that. It's more like discussing something. But yeah, it's not like really a very professional word in Korean like it is in English. 얼른 is hurry up and do something. 나와서, so hurry up and get better, and 팍팍, like the hitting the arrows. 10점에 꽂는 거 다시 보여줘야지. You have to show me. 보여줘야지. Again, 다시. 꽂다 is to stick something. 10점 is the 10 point. The bullseye, basically the 10 point, the center area on the target, if you've ever done archery before. So you got to show me again, like hitting all of them on the 10 point, putting them all into the 10 points is what he's saying. They have a lot of archery cafes in Korea. I shouldn't say a lot, but they have some archery cafes in Korea. So like Koreans are, it's saying someone does archery is like saying that someone does bowling. Like it's kind of a normal sport. Whereas I know in the US it's like people who do archery, but it's not like something you take your friends to go hang out like, oh, let's go do archery today. But in Korea it is.
그러게.
Haha, 그러게. 그러게 is, or 그러게요 is when you say, agree with the other person. Like, yeah, you're right. Okay. Like that sort of like, yeah, all right. Sort of meaning. That's the difference between 그러게 and like 그래요 or something like that. So this is like, yeah, I agree. Okay. Actually, I want a donut too. I could go get a donut. Like, trying to think, where could I even get a donut? Walmart sells donuts, but they're not that good. And like smaller, regular, not smaller, but like other major supermarkets also will have like a bakery section. But it's just like, nothing's like really great. You really got to go to a bakery to get a donut. But I think the bakeries are all closed. They usually are only open until like 3 to 5, somewhere in there. They all close, because who wants to buy a donut at like 8 p.m? I mean, I do, but who does?
할 얘기는 엄청 많지만 일단 수업 중이라 전 먼저 가볼게요.
Okay, 할 얘기 is something to 하다 in this case is not to do, but it's like 말하다. So I have so many, 엄청 많지만, I have so many things that I want to talk about. Literally, I have so many 얘기, so many conversations, things to say. But 일단, for the time being, 수업 중이라, I'm in the middle of class. So 전 먼저 가볼게요. I'm going to leave first. But this is how you say I'll take off. Like, I'm going to go. They say I will leave first. It's assuming that I'm leaving and you're staying. So, hey, well, I'll leave first. In English, we would just be like, all right, well, I got to take off, or I'm going to go. It's just different amounts of being polite, whereas it's kind of polite to say like, hey, I'm going to leave. I mean, in Korean, it's not polite to say I'm just leaving, but it's better to say, well, you stay here. I'm going to go first.
나중에 따로 보자.
All right, let's meet up. Literally, let's see. but 보다 is also used to meet. They're kind of used interchangeably. 따로 is separately, so let's meet up separately later, as in just us. Let's meet up just the two of us later.
네, 형. 몸 조심해.
All right, older brother or older male friend as a male. 몸 조심해 literally take care of your well, actually 조심하다 is like watch, like to be cautious of, so like watch your body is what it literally means, but this is a polite way of just saying to someone who's sick or injured or hurt or anything like that, just like, hey, take care of yourself. So the English translation changes it to take care, which is okay, but it's not really take care like, all right, take care, like bye. It's actually literally take care. Sherry says, if you have enough of a craving, the Walmart donuts aren't that bad though. But they are. Okay, yeah, that's true. Some of them are okay. They're just not impressive. And I feel like if I'm already at Walmart anyway, might as well just get a Twinkie, because I know the Twinkie's going to be good, instead of a donut, which I'm kind of like gambling on. Or like, you know, one of the Hostess, those things are always pretty good. They're made not to be eaten fresh. Even archery cafes, now them crushing the archery events at the Olympics makes even more sense. It's such a normal and popular sport there. Yeah, archery cafes, I'm trying to think if they were around when I was first living in Korea, because I don't remember many archery cafes back 20 years ago when I was first in Korea, but they're not that old. I mean, I'm sure there was someone who had it. I just don't remember ever going. But nowadays, you can find several. There's one good one in Sinchon, if you're in Seoul. I think it's... Is it like Robin Hood? But it's the Sinchon area Robin Hood. There's like different owners and different management. And the one in Sinchon is good. The owner's cool and it's well maintained and everything. I'd recommend going there. I did it in a video if you want to know which one I'm talking about. There's a video I did about archery cafes, and that's the one. I filmed there a few times. But yeah, it's really cool. And they'll teach you how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. I did archery like as a kid and I forgot everything, but he was really kind and like taught me how to do it really quick.
아깝다, 아까워.
A깝ta is when something's like, it's a waste. It's too bad. In that sort of way. It's, that's too bad. Like, could have gotten something sort of too bad. And I specify that because there are other words that also mean too bad when it's a different sort of situation. Like if something bad happened, too bad. Or if something's unfortunate, too bad. This is like a, that was a waste. I wish we had this sort of. Is it the 얘기는 that tells you the 할 is from 말하다? Yeah. So 할 얘기 is literally the hada for future in future tense. So 할 얘기 is a 얘기 that you will hada. And it is, I mean, you can think of it as 말하다, but really it is just hada, because hada has so many meanings besides to do. But with any sort of communication, hada means to do that communication, or we would understand it as to say that communication. So, yeah, you don't really need to think it's necessarily, it's not really like a shortened form of 말하다. It is just hada, but
저런 놈이 운동을 해야 하는데.
so in this case, he's saying it's too bad, it's a waste, because he should be doing exercise. And he says, 저런 놈, that kind of dude. Now, 놈 is not a swear word if you're using it with your friends. It's a playful word like that jerk, that dude, that guy, like that. If you use it to a stranger, though, it's close to a swear. So just keep that in mind. That kind of dude, 운동을 해야 하는데, should be doing exercise. But 운동 actually means exercise, but if you're saying in general, 운동하다 in general means to do sports. So 운동 also means sports. Now you could say 스포츠 해야 하는데, like should be doing sports, but in a school environment, like in this sort of situation, 운동 just means sports. So that kind of guy should be doing sports. It's too bad. What a waste. What a waste of talent is what he's saying.
제 말이요. 그런 의미에서 저보다 하리죠?
And then, 제 말이요, like, literally, those are my words. Like, yeah, I know, huh? 그런 의미에서 저보다 하리죠? So, by that you mean, literally from that meaning, as in your meaning. So from that meaning that you're saying, 저보다 more than me, 하리. 하리 is some, I don't know who that is. 하리죠? You mean 하리, more than me, right? So by saying that, you're kind of like implying you mean Hari more than me. And the English translation says, my sister too, right? So I guess this is his sister. We haven't been introduced to, but anyway.
으이그 뚫린 입이라고.
으이구 is like, oh my. 뚫린 입 is a 뚫리다 is like something punctured. So this is like a loose lips, I believe. But let me double check this. I don't use this expression, so I'm trying to think about it. Okay. So, it is pierced, a mouth that's like pierced or something like that, but it's used for, specifically for when someone says something inappropriate. So, kind of like, you've got a mouth, I think might be a better translation. The English translation, though, in the English version doesn't have this at all. It says, ha, I can't get past you, can I? So it's just, they just translate it as something else. In that case, I might say something like, wow, you got a mouth? Or look at the mouth on this one, something like that. Anyway.
열이 39도가 넘어요. 구급차를 부를게요.
열, fever, 39도가 넘어요. 넘다 is to be, to pass, to surpass, to be beyond. So her fever is over 39 degrees Celsius. So that's dead. That's bad. 구급차를 부를게요. So I'm gonna call a 구급차, an ambulance.
네, 부탁드릴게요.
Yes, please, basically, but 부탁드리다 is to ask you. So yeah, I'll ask you to do that is what it means literally. So like, yes, but they use 부탁하다, 부탁드리다 as a way of saying, I am asking you to do that in a very polite way. So in this case, yes, please do that. 곧장 교실로 돌아가는 이병찬 선생님의 말은 지킬 수 없었다. So 말을 지키다 is to keep, like to keep a promise or to protect something. So I couldn't keep the 말, the words that I said to the 이병찬 선생님, to the teacher Lee, about 곧장 교실로 돌아가라는 말. So the words that I said about 곧장, right away, 교실로 돌아가다, going back to the, sorry, I didn't say them, but the teacher said, about going back to the class. So teacher Lee said, 곧장 교실로 돌아가라. 고하는 돌아가라고 말하는 말. So the words that he said of quote, go back to the class right away. 그 말은 지킬 수 없었다. I could not keep those words. So basically, I couldn't keep the words of him that had said go back to the class right away, literally. So that more naturally would be like, I knew he said go back to the classroom, but I couldn't. Something like that. The English translation here says, I remember that Mr. Lee told me to return to my class, but I knew I had to stay here. There's no implication of I knew I had to stay here. So they just added that in the translation. Doesn't say that. 현주는 인원을 알 수 없는 고열과 기침에 시달렸다. So 시달리다 is to suffer from, and it's used with a, like suffer by, literally. 기침 is cough. 고열, literally 고, high, 열, heat. So fever. So high fever. So literally high fever and coughing. Suffered from high fever and coughing, which was 원인을 알 수 없는, a high fever and coughing that someone could not, 알 수 없는, the 원인, the cause or the reason. So Hyunju suffered from high fever and coughing of which she could not know, or we could not know the reason. So Hyunju suffered, although we didn't know the reason, Hyunju was suffering from high fever and cough, is what I would say. The English translation says Hyunju was suffering from high temperature and severe cough. And it didn't translate the reason part, because it's implying it's like we don't know why. 펄펄 끓는 열을 내리기 위해 나와 이삭이는 열심히 찬 물과 수건으로 현주의 몸을 닦아냈다. So in order to, 내리기 위해, 내리다 is to bring down the fever that was 펄펄 끓는. So 끓다 is to boil. So 펄펄 is like, it's like boiling fever. So in order to bring down her boiling fever, her really hot fever, 나와 이삭이는, me and Isaac, 열심히, diligently, hard, 찬물, cold water, 찬물과 수건으로, so with cold water and a 수건, a towel, 현주의 몸을, 현주's body, 닦다 is to wipe, 닦아냈다 is like to wipe completely, like not wipe, not meaning wiping everywhere, but wiping off, like completely, finishing wiping off. I did a live stream about Neda before, but anyway. So in order to lower her extreme fever, me and Isaac worked hard to wipe her body with cold water and a towel. And the English says, Isaac and I wiped Hyunju with a cold, wet towel, hoping that would lower her body temperature. That's okay. Just waiting for this to change. Okay. 덕분에 조금은 안정을 찾아가는 것 같았다. So, thanks to that, 덕분에, because of that. So, 덕분에 is because of something that's not negative. 조금은, at least a little bit. 안정을 찾아가는 것. So, 안정을 찾아가다 is to find safety. But let me see if there's a better translation for this specific usage. Nah, not really. Stability is a better translation. Okay. I mean, yeah, safe but stable is better. Okay, so we were able to get her stable, but literally find stability a little bit thanks to that. So it seems to have done the trick, and she did seem better. Doesn't mean that. Let's see. If I remember correctly, Hadi is a great character in the show. Okay, maybe the person... Because I was like, how are we supposed to know that's his... like a character related to him or something? Like a sister or a friend or something like that. How are we supposed to know that if we haven't seen the show? But...
현주야, 이제 얘기할 수 있겠니?
Hyunju, now would you be able to talk? And that's all she says. The English translation says, Hyunju, how are you feeling? Where did that come from? There's no such question in the Korean. Do you think you could tell us what happened? Also doesn't exist in the Korean. Just, I mean, it's fine if you say it like that, but all she's saying is like, can you talk with us now? Okay, so that's not terrible. I'm just laughing at the how are you feeling part they added in the English translation, because there's nothing like that. I guess just because they didn't want her to seem cold, like not even ask how she's doing.
네.
Yes. Okay. 눈물 때문에 붉게 충혈된 눈으로. 충혈되다 is to be like bloodshot. So with her 붉다 is like dark, like a strong, not necessarily dark, but just a strong, vibrant red. So like with her red, bloodshot eyes. 눈물 때문에, because of the tears. With her red, bloodshot eyes. And it hasn't finished. 현주는 감금당했던 당시에 대해 이야기하기 시작했다. She started to talk about 에 대해 당시, the time when she was 감금당하다, which is trapped. The English says locked up. Sounds good. So she started to talk about the time that she was locked up. Your coughing makes this game even more ominous. Yeah, I think it's just the house is a little bit dry. That's all I can guess.
과학 동아리 수련회 계획 때문에 선생님을 만나러 과학실로 갔어요.
과학 동아리 is a club, like a group of people club, not like a party club, but just, you know, like a school club or something. 과학 is science club. 수련회. 수련 is a not a field trip. Let me check, because it's kind of feeling like field trip, but I don't want to say that. Yeah, okay, fine. I wasn't wrong, but the field trip's not the best word, but retreat. Because they usually say 수학 여행 for field trip, so this is like a, but it's kind of like a field trip. So anyway, for a science club retreat, 계획 때문에. So because of plans for a science club retreat, 선생님을 만나러 과학실로 갔어요. I went to the 과학실, the science room, in order to 선생님을 만나러, in order to meet the teacher.
교무실에 안 계시면 보통 거기 개인 연구실에 계시니까.
Because 교무실에 안 계시면, if he's not at the classroom, then 보통 normally 거기 over there 개인 personal 연구 is research, so 연구실 is like research room. Or like laboratory. So in his personal research lab or whatever, 에 계시니까. Because I figured if he's not in the classroom, he normally is at his personal lab room. The English says, I couldn't find him at the teacher's office, which usually meant he was in his personal lab there. Okay.
거기도 선생님은 보이지 않았지만
거기도 there too. 선생님은 보이지 않았지만. So I didn't see him there either, but
평소 잠궈두던 연구실 문이 열려 있길래 화장실 가셨나 생각했어요.
I thought 화장실 가셨나? Did he go to the bathroom? So I thought maybe he went to the bathroom. 문이 열려 있길래, because the door was open. 길래 is a because form that's used when whatever follows after is something that you did. And it's a casual, not casual, but informal, spoken only form. So, you know, I mean, the door is open, therefore, so what I did was, is kind of what it implies. Because the 연구실 door, the research or the personal lab door, was open, 열려 있다. 평소 잠궈두던, the door that was normally, 평소 is like regularly or normally, 잠그다 is to lock, so 잠궈두던, 잠궈두다 is to leave something locked. So the lab room, which was normally left locked, was open, so I thought maybe he went to the bathroom. And English says the door to his lab that was usually locked was left open this time, so I thought maybe he was taking a quick bathroom break. Okay.
그래서 조금만 기다리자 하고 과학실에 앉아 있었는데
So 조금만, just for a bit, 기다리자. let's wait. 하고, I thought. 생각하고, you can think of it like that. But in this case, like I said, it's not short for 생각하다 so much. It's just 하다. But 하다 works in that way too. So I said, I thought, 기다리자. Let's just wait a little bit. So I thought, let's just wait a bit. And 과학실에 앉아 있었는데, and I was sitting 앉아 있었는데 in the 과학실, the science room, and then
연구실에서 이상한 소리가 계속 들리는 거예요.
I keep hearing, 들리다, to hear. 들리는, 계속 들리는 거야. I keep hearing these 이상한 소리, strange sounds, 연구실에서, from the lab. 연구실에서 이상한 소리가 계속 들리는 거예요. So I keep hearing these weird noises coming from, or weird sounds coming from the lab.
완전 깜깜하네. 여긴 전등 스위치가 어디-
Suddenly the artwork for her changed and she's all like happy right now. It's just kind of funny. 완전 깜깜하네. It's so dark. 완전, completely. 깜깜하다 is like really dark. Like blackish dark. 여긴 전등 스위치가 어디더라? So where is the 전등 is the light switch. 어디더라? Where was that light switch here? Where was the light switch here? That's what she's saying. Totally gonna get a donut after the stream. If I can. There's a I don't think there's no bakery open, but there is a store I can check. Maybe I'll just drive to Walmart at like 8 o'clock at night and see what they have.
무슨 냄새야?
Oh,
왠지 으스스하기도 하고.
무슨 냄새야? What smell is this? Oh, what's the smell? 왠지. 왠지 is for some reason. 으스스하다. Creepy. Weird. Creepy sort of feeling. For some reason, it's also like creepy too. It's like, oh, what's the smell? It's, for some reason, it's like creepy too. Is our translation. The English says, ugh, what's with this smell? This place is so creepy.
귀여워라. 너네들 소리였구나?
Oh, 귀여워. 귀여워라. The la is just a strong, it makes whatever you're saying stronger. In this case, she's just talking to herself. So, oh, how cute. Like that. It's just more emphatic. 너네들, you guys. 소리였구나. That was you guys. The sound. I want a donut now too. Yeah. I don't know. I'll see. Because like, I'm not sure if I want to check out like, there's a Vons, which is just, you know, general grocery store. I don't know what supermarkets you have where you live, but Vons is just like it's essentially like a Walmart, but only grocery stuff and catered to people who who aren't trying to save money. They're just trying to buy stuff. But they have like a bakery section and their bagels are okay and their donuts are okay and they're not too expensive. They're not great, but they're acceptable. And it's not that far. So I might go there, or I could drive down to Walmart. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Walmart, but
얘는 색깔이 왜 이래? 특이하다고 괴롭히는 건가?
huh? 얘는, this dude, this guy, this one. 색깔이 왜 이래? What's up with their color? Literally why is the color 이래? Like this. Why is this one's colored like this? 특이하다고 괴롭히는 건가? 괴롭히다 is to tease or to bother or to annoy or to bully. So are they bullying it or teasing it because it is 특이하다 is unique or special, peculiar? So are they bullying this one like because it's looks different?
사이좋게 지내야지. 그러면 못 써. 이렇게 귀여운 애를.
사이좋게 is friendly together, like to have a good relationship with each other. 사이 is a relationship. So 사이좋게 지내야지. You guys got to get along. 그러면 못 써. Then that won't do. That's not right. 사이좋게 지내야지. 그러면 못 써. Like, this isn't right. You guys got to live. You guys got to get along together. 이렇게 귀여운 애들. How could you do this to such a cute thing? Kind of is what it's implying, but it's literally such a cute thing, and then it's implying like 괴롭히다니, like to think, how could you tease something like this?
고마운 줄 모르고 사람을 물어?
Again, this is like that. 고마운 줄 모르다, literally to not know how to be 고맙다, to not know how to be grateful. What, you don't even know how to be grateful and you 사람을 물어? And you bite someone? In this case, 사람 is used as a general noun for like a person. So we would say someone. 사람을 물어? What, you don't know how to be grateful? Like I'm on your side in that sort of say. It's not literally like you don't know how to be grateful. It's more like implying I'm on your side. I was trying to help. You know, you should at least don't be mean. You know, 사람을 물어. And the English says, did you just bite me? I'm trying to help you, you know? That's fine.
에이, 이제 나도 몰라. 들어가.
Hey, whatever. 이제 now 나도 몰라. Literally, I don't know either. But this 몰라, if when you say you don't know, it's actually more like you're like brushing off whatever your responsibility is for something. So Koreans will say I don't know, as in like I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like what am I doing? That sort of is what it implies. But it's like we would just say whatever, like whatever. Okay, whatever. I'm done. Like I'm done. 몰라. 모르겠어. 몰라. 몰라 이제. Whatever. 들어가. Go back in. You thank me by biting me? It would be a good translation. You should have translated this game. I don't consider myself a very good translator though. Like, I mean, my specialty is for teaching the grammar forms, not for actually understanding how to write it in English. Because I never really try to think about stuff in...
생각보다 이빨이 날카롭네.
When I hear things, I try not to think about them in terms of what this would mean in English. Like I said, with the exception of grammar forms, which I like doing that. So the first thing she says, is half of a swear word, but people commonly just kind of say this like you might make it like a blow air out of your mouth or something without saying the swear word. 생각보다 이빨이 날카롭네. So more than I thought, his 이빨, his teeth, 날카롭다, sharp, and his teeth are sharper than I thought. Oh, there's our teacher.
여기서 뭐 하는 거냐?
여기서, here, 뭐 하는 거냐? What are you doing here? And yeah, it's a very strong ending. Okay, I want to keep going, but I think this is good for today because I still gotta eat donut. This is our struggle every Sunday in reading group, figuring out how to translate them in a non-awkward way when we know what it means but can't word it right. I get a lot of practice that way. Yeah, I mean, I've never tried translating anything. That's not true. I have done a little bit, but I've never tried like actually doing like a full book or like a full long story or a game or a movie or anything like that for Korean. And yeah, I tried it for Japanese though. I did translation for a TV show, nothing you would have known or anything. It was like a fan translation project for Japanese back before I was doing Korean. I did like 2 episodes. It took me like a whole day to translate one of the episodes, like 30-40 minute episode, because you translate it literally and now it doesn't make any, now it's like, why would you say that? Like, why would you make that Why would you put those words together? So you have to after you translate it, then you have to rewrite it to match that situation, and you'll find out that like it no longer fits anywhere. Like it no longer fits the Korean once you make it sound natural. So like there's a natural translation for everything, and then there's a literal translation for everything. And the goal is to find a balance where both sides are happy. But for me, all I worry about is like literal translations when I'm teaching. I don't really care so much about natural translations, just because like I don't want people to think of things when they're learning Korean. I don't want them to think about things in terms of natural English translation, because Koreans don't say things the way we say them in English, as you see. Like 이렇게 귀여운 거를, like such a cute thing. Like no one says that. We'd just be like, oh man, it's so cute. Like we would just express 귀여워. Like the way we express ourselves is completely different. So it's kind of unproductive, or not productive, I guess. I don't know what the correct word is. To focus on natural translation when I'm teaching Korean, because I'm like, it just don't. But for a game, people that are playing the game, they're not learning Korean, so they don't care. Just make it as natural as possible. In your server, we usually end up doing both. Translate it literally, say ew, that doesn't work, and then summarize it in natural English. Yeah, that's really good. I think the natural English, though, helps for, like, don't rely on it, but it helps because when you see the Korean, it's really confusing. Why would someone say that? But then when you see it in English, you're like, oh, I accept that they worded it like this because now I understand that they're saying something natural to another Korean. Like, I would totally say that. Like that sort of thing. But yeah, anyway, it's a thing. One of my, I don't know if I should say friend, I haven't talked with her in like a decade, but someone I know on Twitter translated this, like actually did translation for a book, like a whole book. She runs the blog, or I don't know if she still does, I think she does, Hanguk Drama, like a blog that's been around forever, since like before I started my YouTube channel. And she did like a actual, like a legitimate book translation. I'm like, that's crazy. I could never do something like that. Translate like a 200-page novel from Korean into English. Like, no. And like, it's not like you have to have the best Korean in the world to do it, but you need to have a lot of patience and like really lots of practice doing that. I don't think I can do that. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go get a donut. I'm doing a live stream again tomorrow, an actual lesson tomorrow about direction words. If you're intermediate, you probably already know all the words, but maybe there's still something in there for you if you're not already like fully conversational. It's not like all super low beginner stuff, but it is like within the beginner, low intermediate level. That's tough. I just want to understand as I read without a full translation happening in my head. Yeah. That's the best way, is if you just read it in Korean and just accept it and kind of get what they're saying and go on. But if it just really doesn't make any sense, like why would they say that? Then that's when it helps to have a natural translation, because then you can get it. You're like, oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'll do another one next week, I hope, but I'm doing my ATs videos. I finished writing 4 of 8 because there are 8 members. These are going to be really long videos. Every single video is over 3,000 words. There's so much I'm talking about. I could easily make each video 4 times as long. Easily. I could make them so much longer just because there's so much stuff. But if I did that, I'd never get them filmed. So I'm doing the other 4 next week, and hopefully I can finish those next week. And yeah, anyway. Take care, everyone. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow.